Welcome back for the subtraction portion of one-step equations. So if you're in your algebra notebook, we need to go to the one-step tab, which is the yellow one, and scroll through the problems that you have already done. And now we're looking at some subtraction problems. So let's take a look at the first one, which is C subtract 15 equals 6. So this is a subtraction equation, but the rules that you have learned do not change. So let's put this equation onto a solving frame and see what we can do. So C minus 15 is on this side and 6 is on this side. 6 is clearly the constant. And C is variable. So the minus 15 needs to go over to the constant side of the problem. And to move a term, I use its opposite. I use its inverse. And if I do it to one side, I do it to the other. So we cancel here. And I am left with C. And 6 plus 15, that's just basic addition, but you can use your calculator if you need it. So the solution to this equation, C is worth 21 in this particular problem. Okay, the next one. Let's say X minus 32.7 equals 96. So this one has a decimal, and that's okay. The rules of algebra will never change. So X minus 32 7/10 equals 96. So 96 is a number that is constant. X is a letter that is variable. So you see that negative 32.7 is a constant and needs to move to the constant side. So let's do the opposite. If you do it to one side, do it to the other. Cancel. And so I'm left with X on this side. And then on your calculator, let's type in all clear. 96 plus 32.7 equals 128.7. If you need the calculator, use the calculator. I have a learning disability, and if I don't use the calculator, I'm probably going to miss the problem. It's not that I don't know how to add, it's just that when I try to do this in my brain, it doesn't always come out right. So don't risk losing the problem over that. Use the calculator. If it means getting this problem right, it's worth it. Okay, one more here on this page. I think I'm trying to save a little bit of space. So M minus 65 equals negative 32. And again, you see the negative 32 in parentheses so that we don't overlook the negative. That's another thing that I often do. If those parentheses are not there, I don't even see that little negative sign. So that's what they're for in this problem. Okay, so let's do the frame, and then write the problem on there. Your equal sign is always your divider. And if you want the parentheses, you can leave them. That's up to you. The number by itself is constant. The letter is variable. So we can see that the minus 65 is the term that needs to move. So we'll do the opposite. And if you do it to one side, you must do it to the other. So cancel. I apologize if you're picking up some background noise. The folks in the room next door are making a little bit of noise, so they do not know I'm recording, and they don't know that it's so loud. So, 32 negative, add 65. And that goes in your calculator. Remember, the negative sign is that plus minus sign. So 32 negative plus 65 equals, and this comes up to be 33, positive 33. So M is 33. And you notice that I draw that circle or a box at the end. That's just a habit of many years. So I'm sorry if that's annoying, but I've always just learned to mark off my solution. If you look at these three problems, hopefully you can see the pattern that's developing over and over and over. We're following that same process. And that's the process that's going to get you through the very last problem in this course. Okay, moving to the next one. We have two more to go in this video. How about negative 16 4/10? Equals R subtract 6. So let's draw the frame. And let's put the problem on the frame. There's equals. So this is my constant side. And that's okay. We know that that can happen. Don't let that get you rattled and upset and nervous. It's just the same process in reverse. So would you agree with me that that minus 6 needs to move? And if it's a minus 6, I'm going to do plus 6 to move it. So it moves over under that constant. And we're left with our variable. And this is 16.4 negative plus, sorry, I need to make sure I'm making this clear where that's coming from. Then add 6. So 16.4 negative, add 6 is negative 10.4. And if you want to put your parentheses around the 10.4, like so, that is fine. Personally, that drives me crazy, so I'm not going to do that. But you can do it if you want to. It's the same answer. Okay. One more. This one is negative 15 equals A minus 16 35/100. So let's draw a solving frame and put the problem on there. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm wanting to change colors and it isn't time yet. A is variable. Negative 15 is constant. And it is that negative 16.35 that needs to move. So let's add 16.35. 16 and 35 hundredths. Cancel. And then you're left with the variable a. That's very good. That's all that should be over there at this point. And then this is 15 negative. Add 16 and 35 hundredths. 15 negative. Add 16 and 35 hundredths. And your final solution comes out to be positive 1.35. So you now know how to do addition and subtraction equations. I'll see you in the next video for multiplication equations.